to my channel. So if you're new here, my name is Andrea and I'm a music photographer based in London, and I do videos mostly about that. So for this video, I decided that maybe it would be interesting to show you the magazines that I have been in, because I've been thinking about doing this video for some time, but I never really did it because I was afraid that it could come off a bit self-indulgent or show-offy or something. I really hope it doesn't come off that way. I just thought that maybe it could be a bit of a casual conversation for those of you who are interested in learning a little bit more about the process of what it is like to get your work in magazines, and maybe help a little bit with motivation or something. I don't know, just like a casual conversation. I've been in a bit of a rut of like not knowing what to film videos about, and I just kind of thought to myself, like, what would be a video that I would be interested in watching someone else do? And this, I think I would be interested in seeing like the magazines that other people's work have been in, and I hope you find it interesting too. So let's get into it. Okay, the cat is asking for water in the bathroom, so BRB. Here she is in all her glory. Actually, before I forget, I do have a video already on my channel about how to get published in a magazine. I go over the many different ways that it can happen, the different avenues that you can go to, and how those different scenarios work. So if you're interested in a more detailed conversation about the how-to, as opposed to just seeing the spreads and talking about them individually, I'll leave the link for the video down below as well, so you can go watch that. And also, there are a couple features in these magazines that I have specific videos about. So like the specific shoot that is in some of these magazines have their own video on my channel, so I can also leave that link down below. Sorry, the cat is now in her little litter box. I feel like in a lot of the videos that I film, I'm always cross-referencing my other videos. I don't want to repeat myself too much in this video, so if you want a more specific deep dive into it, it'll be linked down below. So these are the magazines that have been actually printed. So I have had my work on a number of different magazines, but they've been digital and online only, but I thought it would be fun to show you the print ones. There's something extra special about seeing your work in print, so here we go. I'll try to present these in a somewhat chronological form. I'm not too sure if I'll be able to be very accurate with it, but so here we have the We Can Do It Volume 1 edition. I got this at Rough Trade, and basically this magazine here does a feature in a number of different women, and they did a feature on Katie Arabella from St. Ains. Here it is, and they used one of my photos for the feature. This was one of the first official photo shoots that I've ever done. It was done through the band. They got in touch with me and they said that they wanted some new press shots. We rented this studio space and we took some press shots, and I really love it. I'll include some other photos of the shoot here, so you can see. Go check We Can Do It. It's a really fun magazine supporting gender equality in the music industry, so very important topics here and very interesting. Next, maybe this one. So here we have Heat Wave magazine, and I love this one because it has a bit of that newspaper feel, you know, and I think it complements certain aesthetics really well. I feel like it complements my photos pretty interestingly because it adds an extra layer on top to that grain that I have on my photo, so it looks really nice, I feel like. And for this one, it's a similar situation. So basically they were doing a feature on Amyl and the Sniffers, which is a band that I've shot a number of times, and they are one of my favorite bands to shoot as well. And this one here is a few years old, I believe. This photo from Amy was from the first time that I ever shot them. I have some prints of it on my website if you're interested, but anyway, this is an article that they wrote about, I believe, their new album coming out, and they needed a photo of the band and they asked me to include one, so here we are. And here's a little note: always try and get your work credited whenever you can. So here you can see it has my name and my Instagram handle, which is a nice bonus if they are okay with including it, if it's appropriate or whatever. So here is 1999. This is a magazine all about creativity. I mean, pretty clear. And for this feature, it was a little bit different because it wasn't just my work accompanying, because this wasn't just my work accompanying a feature. It was actually a feature about my work. So that was a little bit different, slightly more special, I guess, because they showcase a number of different photos that you've taken, most likely from a number of different shoots. So it's a little bit of a more complete showcase of your work. And there was also a little interview that she conducted to go alongside the photos. So this is public access TV. This is Drift. This is something that I don't share very often, but here are some sort of landscapey shots that I love taking as well. Here's Tess Parks. And here's a number of other photos of different people. We have Sunflower Bean, The Garden, Nightshades, Ice Age, Soko, Marching Church, Los Bichos. So yeah, there's that one. Next, I think maybe it was DNA Magazine. So I just actually finished filming a video about a shoot that I did with Toy for DNA Magazine for another issue. This printed issue here, this was before the Toy photo shoot. So this was the first time that I worked with them. And in case you don't know, DNA Magazine is fashion music magazine based in Mexico. They have really beautiful aesthetics. I love this little logo. If you know my work, like my logo is also a heart and it's also pink, and we have a lot in common. For this collaboration with this magazine, things were a little bit different. They made this really cute thing where they included a detachable zine. Here's the little zine. And it comes off, and they included this little zine inside their magazine with different photos that I've taken of different women. So it was all about women in music, women in rock and roll, and all the culture behind it. Here is Danny from Surfboard. We got Drift again, Emma and the Sniffers again, some of my favorites, Sunflower Bean, Pale Waves. Anyway, the list goes on, and I really love it. It's a really neat grouping of my work, and it's very cute that it's detachable from the magazine and it's its own little binded publication. So that was very special and different to some of my other experiences working with magazines. And then here we have She Shreds, which is also an amazing magazine. It's basically about, again, women in the music industry, most specifically female guitar players and I guess bass players as well. Just basically, it's a safe space for women to talk about music and gear and all of that. And I have a whole video on my channel dedicated to this shoot as well with Kate LeBon. I'll link it down below. I always love seeing how they incorporate the photos in their magazine, because obviously they do their own layout and stuff. And I'm always curious to see how they're gonna juxtapose like the overwhelming like blackness that I have on my photos. And for this feature, they also went with like black layout with like a pink font, and yeah, looks very cute. Again, make sure that you try and get your work credited when you can. I think, you know, it's very helpful in helping other people find your work. And then the last thing that I have here is not a magazine, but it's a book. So it's even more cool to get your work published on an actual book. And this book is the 100 Club Stories. It's a book about the 100 Club venue in Oxford Circus in central London. And in case you don't know this venue, it's a pretty famous like cult venue. There've been so many interesting nights and gigs there throughout the decades. Sex Pistols played there, the Rolling Stones. Here's a photo of the Sex Pistols there. It's just pretty much a legendary place, really. Funnily enough, is where I shot pretty much one of my first official gigs. It was the first time that I had a photo pass. It was at the 100 Club to shoot The Garden. And since then, I've been back a few more times to the venue to shoot different bands. And for this book, I'm gonna try and cover it because there are some boobies here. So this was an amazing night that Soko played there. And she invited women to go on stage and liberate themselves on stage. It was an amazing night, and I feel very honored to be immortalized in this amazing book and this amazing venue. So yeah, that's that. I hope this video was somewhat interesting, and I hope it doesn't come off as show-offy or anything like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. Is just to sort of showcase the many ways that you can present your work in different magazines and how your work can be used differently. They can be used as complementary features to an already established feature, like in an interview, or they can write a whole feature about your work, or they can include a little detachable zine with all your work in it. There's so many different ways that your work can be shown in a magazine, and I hope this has been somewhat interesting. Let me know if you have any questions, any thoughts, and what you would like to see next in my videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this one, and thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you on my next one. Bye!